Hi, my name is Liz Fogarty. I'm in section 2 of 120, and I'm about to walk you through my programming project. So, when you click Run, you're presented with this nice opening screen where you can choose whichever pet you want. I'm going to choose this yellow octopus. Yellow is my favorite color. Now, when I open this, one of my pets is sick. Why is that? Whenever the need bar equals 1 or 0, then your pet gets sick, and you get a nice little image showing that. He's got a nice little hot water pouch on his head. So if I sit here and not click on any of the icons, make my pet feel better, and it reaches 0, then my pet will die and the game will be over. But I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to click on some buttons. Each button has a different image correlated with it. Goodness gracious, humans are bad. Now, I can't just spam click this grooming button and make my pet feel better. There's a stall button that's behind it. So you have to wait every 2 seconds for these icons to be able to be clicked again, and each one runs on its own timer so that you can't just use one and then wait for it to be up and then go click again. So all of them are on different ones, and you just go through and play like that. And so if your pet gets all their knee bars to 5, then the game is over, and then it sends you back to the home page where you get to choose another animal. But if you kill your pet, the game is over, kind of as a punishment. So I'll walk you through the code, and then we'll talk about some more stuff at the end. So we'll start with the definition of the pup itself. So down in main, all of the opening stats are randomly generated from 1 to 5 so that you can have a truly unique experience each time you play. So all of that data is stored up here in instance variables that will be used throughout the code. This bar function is a drawing function that just keeps putting the rectangles over the need bars as they increase and decrease, so it's not like behind. It's more of an aesthetic thing. I think that it worked out pretty well. This setup screen, also more of an aesthetic. It's just to keep the lines all clean. It puts the need icons on, and then it also puts the normal image of the pet on. So that's what that does. Now the need bar increase. So every time that let's use hunger for example, self.hunger, every time it increases, it comes up here and it resets the rectangle that's up there. So if it goes from 2 to 3, then it rechanges it, puts it on top, the bars are put over again, and we've got an updated needs bar. So this runs every time. And on the opposite way, for needs decreasing, so 1 is chosen randomly every 5 seconds, and so that one will affect whichever one it chooses. If we use hunger again, if hunger goes from 3 to 2, then this comes back up to the need bar, updates, and then it also puts some white rectangles on the end so that we can just kind of get rid of the ones from before. So that's all that this does. And then that's the reset bars is the white bars. The distance function right here is extremely important because a lot of the areas where you click in my game are circles, and so the radius, or not the radius, but the distance between the center and wherever the mouse is clicked is really important. And they're not always going to be in straight lines, so by using this distance formula right here, I can get the number I need and adjust my code adequately. So everything I talked about except for distance is involved in the pup class. So once you come through, pup is created, you go to the opening screen. The opening screen just kind of sets up the different circles. This is where the 3 pets are introduced, and you get to choose one, and then we get some distances here. And so depending on which one you choose, the game will then go into it. So if we follow pup 1, which is that nice blue dog, we come into here. And so now using that dog, our animal type is now 1, which was set as an instance variable beforehand. And so we can just use that as we go through the game. So that makes it really helpful. But this just sets up the game. And then these counters right here, as I was talking about beforehand, with the stalling, you need to be like you can't just spam them. So this counter right here makes it so that time has to be +2 the original before you can continue. So that's really important. And then one more big thing about my code is that right here, there are 3 big chunks. One is for when all of the stats are equal to 0, then your pet is dead, and it shows a unique screen for that. The second one is when all the stats are 5, that's when the game is over, and 1 is when one of the stats or multiple is at 1, because then your pet is sick. And that's the majority of my game right now. Now, I think I deserve an A for this project. I've worked really hard on it, and I think I've learned a lot. I learned how to use time. I imported random. I got to mess around with Pygame. I think the biggest challenge for me was being able to make everything respond in real time because I was really scared it was going to be laggy. But I got that to work. I have a stall behind it, and I think that my interface looks nice, and it all comes together. I also did all of my own art for this project, and I think I put a lot of time into it. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun playing NetPupz, and